welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today I thought I'd do kind of like my top home buys. We're at home and people are like redoing the rooms and me need a little bit of inspiration, so I thought I'd show you my favourite like home buys, home things. Yeah, there's 10 in total. Yeah, I'm just gonna get straight into it. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. But yeah, let's get started. Right, the first big one that I've got is radiator covers. Now, well, for a long time, but mainly now in lockdown, I have hated the sight of radiators. Magnolia I cannot stand no more because my whole house was magnolia. And also radiators. I just don't like them. They don't look clean, and I don't like the look of radiators. So I've recently had 2 radiator covers downstairs. I've got one under my window. There's a massive radiator there, so I have a big radiator cover there. I was worried because obviously I've got my windowsill and then a radiator cover, how it would look with being 2 levels, but it looks completely fine. I just don't put anything on that radiator cover. I use the windowsill as decoration. Also, we've had one in the hallway which has now got like a mirror above it and some knick-knacky stuff, which I am changing. By the time this video comes out, I don't think I've changed it. At the minute I've got kind of like a wooden thing with a cactus plant, not cactus, like a succulent, that's what it's called, plant in, but I am changing it to like a white flower and more of like a marble tray. But obviously I'm waiting for that to come. So that one's decorated in the bottom of the hallway. I was worried about the space in there, but it looks really nice and it just finishes the room off. Recently I got one from upstairs. I've got a radiator in the upstairs hallway, but because it's near the bathroom door, it's not central to the wall, so I thought putting a radiator cover there would take over the hallway space because there's not that much, but because it's actually joint where the hallway goes down and then the long bit there to where the stairs are, actually having one there doesn't. So when we decorated the hall, I decided that the one downstairs I'd put against the wall and see how it'd look and if it would be okay to have one there, and it looked completely fine. The only problem with it is because it was a small one and the radiator's against the wall, it means the stand was there and a massive space of wall. So I got one there now, and what I've done is I actually ordered a larger one to cover majority of the space of that wall. So I ended up looking around because the one that I recently bought with that one, the medium size was too small, the large size was too large, so I had to go around and find the perfect size like in the middle. So there is a little bit of a gap still, but it's more central now and I've decorated it. It's now got some like a vase, some fake flowers in, and like bird cage candle holders. So it looks really nice. I think it just finishes the room off nicely. It is getting used to, because obviously we're used to running, well, I'm not used to running down the hallway, the kids are, but they're not going into it or anything like that, and it's not actual corners, it's kind of like cut off, so it's like, it's not rounded, but like, yeah. So the kids don't harm themselves on it if they do walk into it, but yeah, I love them. I think they kind of like finish off the room perfectly, and they just look a lot cleaner and nice, and it means that I can put like more nice things on display rather than just having a radiator there. And apparently as well, radiator covers are meant to be quite beneficial for the heat, because I was worried about, well, when I first got them, I was worried about the heat, if they'd heat up the room, but apparently they heat up the room better. Don't know how that happens. I read it somewhere and it does explain why, but I cannot remember. But yeah, so it's nice because it looks cleaner, you can decorate it, but also apparently it's better for your heating. Right, the next one that I love is Ava's bed. I actually got a bed from Amazon. I wanted kind of like a sofa, I forgot what to call them, like a sofa-ish bed for her. Not the one that actually was a sofa that turned into a bed, but obviously you'll see in a second, where I could put pillows on it, and it's kind of like, I think it's called a day bed, isn't it? Yeah, I just love them and it's so pretty, and like I said, it was from Amazon and it's done as well. The only downside is it's one of the little crystal ball things I've got wobbly because Ava kept on playing with it and now I can't seem to twist it to tighten it. So yeah, that's the only downside, but she's had it for, I'd say 2 years now. Maybe, yeah, maybe 2 years, maybe, it's got to be about 2 years. And yeah, I love it. You could get one as well and pay a little bit extra for the under the bed, so you got a bit that was under the bed and you slide it out, so for like sleepovers and stuff, but we didn't get that one. We just got the normal one. I didn't see the point because there was no space for it to pull out. But yeah, I absolutely love that bed, and like I said, from Amazon, and it was a bargain. If it's still available, I'll pop a link in the description for that bed and the radiator covers as well, because I also got those from Amazon. The next one in Ava's room, which is a dress up rail, which I also got from Amazon, so I'll pop it in the description. Yeah, it's just, in a wardrobe, we had a bottom drawer, and we filled it for our costumes, like her princess dresses and stuff like that, and her JoJo outfits. And it got to the point where she'd rip everything out of the cupboard and the drawer just to find one item which she couldn't find, so she had to rip them all out and get them everywhere. And I was being driven insane. And then I saw someone having like a nice dress rail, but a younger kid's one. So I found one that was perfect height because I wanted to go underneath like a feature wall. And yeah, and it's got like a little shoe rack thing, so I can put her shoes. You can't see them because of all the dresses in the way. But it's perfect for her age. She's 5. Her dresses fit beautifully. They're just at the bottom of the floor. So if you've got a child that's older, like teen, or you don't really want to buy one for your teen anyway, but an older child, then I would advise against it because it is quite short, but you can get longer ones. Like I said, I wanted it short because of the feature wall. I wanted it to hit below it. But yeah, it was really easy to make, and it just looks really nice and finishes the room up perfectly. And it's obviously, I can hang all of her dresses up there and her costumes, and she can just see it and take it off and then put it on the curtain and put it back. So it looks pretty, but also it's really good for storage and beneficial for us, instead of having a load of costumes and princess dresses all over the floor all the time. The next one is our sofa. I love this sofa. One of the main reasons why I mention it is because of the price. I got it from Very. I don't know if it's still available, but basically our leather sofa, what was it? The faux leather sofa was peeling and it was driving me insane. I was using covers and stuff on it. The covers were driving me insane because they'd pop off. So our old sofa was driving me insane and we really needed a new one, and basically I didn't want it to cost a fortune. The ones I was looking for was like a chair to match it, but then a nice sofa, and it was expensive. I decided to go for like an accent chair, which is different to the sofa. And then yeah, the sofa that I found on Very, it was £300, it was £2.99, and I thought that was amazing. It's a scatterback sofa, which I really like. It just means I didn't need to buy any pillows for it. So yeah, I love it, and we've had it for over a year now, and there's been no problems with it whatsoever. I love it. It's fairly large. I think it's a 3-seater. The sofa that we had before was a 3-seater, but because the arms were quite flat and long, you could sit on those. So I wanted something that was a similar size, and a lot of 3-seaters were quite small. But this one was quite big. It's probably only about this much smaller than our old sofa. And yeah, the accent chair in there as well is nice. But I'm not including that in this bit. But yeah, I love the sofa, and it's easy to clean. I was worried because it's like one of our first material sofas, but it cleans up really well. And yeah, for £300 I thought it was a bargain, so love it. Right, the next one is probably like my favourite thing at the minute, because yeah, I just love them in room. It's artificial plants. My favourite artificial plants are the trailing plants, the ones that fall, and I have literally got them everywhere. I have 2 in the living room, I have 1 in the corner, and then 1 in the like boxes above the sofa. I have 1 now, a new one in the kitchen. I have 1 going over kind of like the kitchen cabinet onto the thing that takes all the steam away for the cooker. Extractor fan, that's it. I've got 1 on there, and then also we've got a new fridge freezer, so I have 1 tangled on the side of there. We also have a new kind of like shoe rack and coat rack, which I'm going to talk about in a second. Also have 1 on there. And then we have 1 in the hallway, at the top of the hallway on our bookshelf. We have 1 there. We have 1 in the ensuite bathroom, and we have 1 in the other bath. Basically I have 1 in every single room pretty much. This bedroom hasn't got 1 because I want to do this bedroom up, and I'm trying to finish each room off before going on to a new one. The kids are also going to get some in theirs, but they haven't got any yet. Andrew is going to have 1 on his feature wall. Ava's going to have 1 on the downside of a wardrobe, but she's having a little bit of a different one. She's having a trailing plant, but she's going to have pink roses in it. because the room's pink, and I just thought that would be like dead cute and pretty. So yeah, there's going to be one in every single room. I am wanting more. I've ordered the dangling rope baskets, and I'm going to have one of those in the bathroom because we have a big kind of like grass plant that's way too big and out of control that the kids are getting annoyed with now, which I thought there would be because it's over the toilet. So I'm going to get one of those dangling plants to be in there, and another one in the kitchen. But I hated greenery years ago for some strange reason. I think it's because I don't like green, and it's green because it's plants, and I wanted all the plants that I got, I made sure they looked fake and black. Like I've got one over there that's like a vase and it's got like black and grey plants coming out of it, and obviously they look fake. But then when I did the living room and got the ones for the corner, I don't know, it just kind of like gave me an obsession. Another thing that I've been absolutely obsessed with is the lampshades I've been getting. Now 3 years ago, when I started doing the living room downstairs, I started getting into kind of like the metal framed lampshades, just because I wanted something. I mean, they weren't that much in style back then when I ordered them, just because I wanted something that had a lot of light in, doing YouTube and things like that, and being in a house that only has the light on certain sides of the room, with little amount of windows, because it's a terraced house, so I'm attached to either side. I wanted something to let a lot of light out, so instead of a lampshade where it just lets the light go down, something that just let the light out and make the room lighter. And basically I started off with a living room one. We have backlights as well as a front light, but the front light is terrible, it doesn't let that much light in at all. We barely use it now, to be honest. But yeah, I got the black one, and it was really good. It was only £9.99. Unfortunately now, because they have come in fashion and everybody likes them, well, most people like them, they've they've made the price to £25, which I think is like extortionate, saying that I got it for £9.99 a couple of years ago. So what I've done is, around the house, I still love them, but instead of getting the black ones, I've started to go for the chrome ones, the silver ones, just because a lot of the rooms are grey and stuff like that. So I now have one at the bottom of the hallway, which matches the mirror because we have a silver mirror. We now have one in the kitchen, or it's the dining area of the kitchen, we use it as a study, there, because they're saying the lighting's terrible there. And it looks really, really pretty. I have also bought one for the upstairs, but I'm waiting on a screw, because that is a very, I don't know if you know it, but it's an E27 like light, which means it's bigger than a normal light, which they fit on perfectly. They have like a white thing to make it smaller to go on regular lights, and then you take it out and it goes on the large lights, but it's not got a screw on for some reason. You know, when now you take your plug out, take your bulb out, unscrew it, put it in, screw it, put your bulb in, that's not got the screw in for some reason, so I had to order some more, which I'm waiting for to finish that one off. But yeah, I absolutely love those lampshades, and they're pretty much everywhere. I do really want to buy one for this room, a black one, but I kind of don't want to spend £25 on it. I might just get a chrome one again, but pretty much every single room, most of the rooms in the house have now got one of those lampshades. Right, another 2 items which are pretty much similar, so I'm going to talk about them together, is the sideboard downstairs and the bookshelf at the top of our stairs. Basically, I love the kind of like chunky wood look, and it's grey with the oak on it. I just think it looks so pretty. I've got a big bookshelf at the top of the hallway. We used to have our wash basket there, so we've moved that now. Just because I wanted the wash basket, obviously if the kids run into it, they don't hurt themselves, but with a big bookshelf cupboard, they run into it, they hurt themselves. So I wanted it kind of like out the way so they can't run into it. So I put it at the top of the stairs. I've used it not as a bookshelf. It has got books inside and a drawer. But I've not used it for a bookshelf. I've used it for decorative purposes, and then the drawers for storage. This house is fairly small, not that much storage space because it's a new house, a new build. So the accessories that I have, I'm trying to manage for them both for storage but also decorative purposes as well. So the shelves are for decorative purposes, so we've got pictures, little bits and bobs on. Then the drawers have books and usually like stationery stuff in, so we've got like envelopes, got some DVDs and stuff like that, just bits and bobs really. And then the sideboard downstairs, basically we always, instead of a TV unit, we always get a sideboard because we've always liked the TV to be higher because of the kids. Apologise, you can hear my husband in the background. He's working, so he's on his phone. So yeah, we've always preferred a sideboard because we like a long one, and because we have a big TV, we need it quite long because just the stand that your TV goes on is meant to be the same width as the telly, which it is. But yeah, I love that one as well, and the great thing about it is it actually had a big hole in the back to put wires. The sideboard before this, we had to physically make a hole in it, which was terrible. My husband cut his hand. But when we moved in here, we just said, oh, we'll just take the backboard off. So we did, but obviously left it wobbly because the backboard kind of like keeps it a bit more stable. But then when I bought that one, I realised that where the shelf was inside, it had a hole in to put all the wires in, which is amazing. I didn't even know that when I bought it. I was just going to like make a hole in it again. But yeah, that was a big bonus, and I just love it. It's very sturdy. It is thick wood, and the way it's built is kind of like built like a unit, and then you kind of like wood around the bottom, so it looks so chunky and stuff. And yeah, I just love them both. I got them both from, ooh, where did I get them from? Don't have a clue. I want to say either Very or Argos, because that's where I get most of my stuff from. I will have a look and leave it in the description if I can find it. But basically, the ladder shelf in the bathroom, I wanted again something for decorative purposes but also for storage. So I use the bottom of it for like bleach and cleaning products, because my kids are old enough now to realise not to touch that stuff. And then we've got storage for the towels, so the towels that match the room. We've got the hand towel and the 2 bath towels there for like guests to use if they want to use the main family bathroom. And then above that is the decorative shelves, so they've got the plants and the bits and bobs on. But I love that one. I got it from eBay. It's a slim one. You can get wider ones, but because it was going to be on the edge of the wall where I couldn't have it in the way of the door, but plus the radiators behind the door, yeah, I just had to get a slim one. But I still love that shelf. It, like I said, pretty much about everything. It finishes off the room really nice. And I can hang my artificial plants down it as well, which is a bonus. Right, the last and final one, again, is a new purchase. I haven't mentioned it because it's fairly new, is our coat rack and our storage shoe unit. Before we used to have the cubes, which worked amazing because it was easy enough to find our shoes. Apologies if the camera looks a little bit different, the battery died, so I had to go change it. But yes, this shelf, basically we could find our shoes in the boxes completely fine, but we were finding it that a lot of shoes were taking up too much space. So like the kids would have a ton of shoes in theirs, but because they have tiny feet they can have more shoes. I never really keep a lot of shoes out and wear a lot of shoes anyway, so I have maybe 3 or 4 pairs of mine in there and they fit perfectly. The husband has obviously got bigger feet, but he's got a lot more shoes. So he was finding it difficult to maybe put more than 2 pairs in there. We could put 3 in it, but it'd make the box kind of like bulge open a bit. And we were really struggling because obviously I could fit more in mine, the kids could probably fit more in theirs, but the husband couldn't fit barely any because of having bigger feet. So the box means we could have more storage of shoes. It just means they're less organised, so it means we have to dig through them. But most of the shoes that we wear, the most worn shoes are at the top, so it's fine. But another reason why we got it is because our coat rack kept falling down. We got it screwed into the wall because we have quite a lot of coats on there, because that is only our storage. For coats, we did have it from under the stairs of the toilet, but now because we've got the dryer in there, I had to hang my husband's bike on the wall where the coat rack was. So most of the coats now we had to take from there and put on the coat rack, and basically it fell down a few months ago, and it was my birthday. My mum came round. She put a coat on, so it's falling out, and I was like, yeah, it's fine, it's been doing that for a while, and it literally just fell out. So then I made new holes for it and put it up, and then it started getting looser again a few days later. And basically because it's a new house and it's plasterboard, it's not very good for hanging stuff up on the wall, and it was driving me insane, and they kept falling down. Since we've lived here, it's fallen down 2-3 times in 3 years. I know it doesn't seem a lot, but it's annoying that I have to take it down, drill more holes in. That when you drill something into the wall, it's meant to stay there forever until you take it down, but that wasn't. So what I did instead is I bought this new unit, which is a little bit shorter than where I coat swap them up, but it's perfectly fine. The coats just probably hit the bottom where the shoe thing is, and it's good because you can actually sit on top of the box to put your shoes on, which is good for me because I need to sit down to put my shoes on, but on the stairs you're then struggling to get up and whatnot, but on there it's perfect. So I can sit down and put my shoes on there, like I said, more shoe storage, but then it just looks nice. And then I've also got things decorative on there as well. There's a basket at the top, which I love that basket. I've got one in both the bathrooms and then now obviously in the hallway, just to store things. So in there I've got things like gloves, hats, normal like summer hats, just things that would need like to hand, like with coats and stuff, instead of hanging them all on the pegs. They're just in a box up there. It just works easier. And then again, like I said, there's one of the trading plants hanging off there as well, which makes it look, like I said, pretty much with most of things, it finishes it off. Yeah, and I've just kind of like, I think a lot of people can relate, since being at home all the time, you kind of like pick little things in the house that you never really noticed. You're like, right, that needs doing, that needs doing, and because you've got time to do it. With me anyway, I do something like, if we redecorate a room, like we've redecorated the hallway and the bathrooms, but then the kitchen diner, I've decorated that as well. And I'll sit in the living room thinking, this needs repainting, the glass needs doing, and then I just pick tiny things and just, yeah, and then change everything. So I wanted to share with, obviously, some of the new things we've recently bought, but then the old things that we've got and that's lasted. So yeah, I hope you do enjoy this video. If you do, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. Like I said, anything that I can possibly link, I will link it. If I can't, then apologise that I can't. But I hope you have an amazing rest of the day, and I will see you soon. Bye!